Welcome everyone to the first ever Keys to AWS Optimization Show. My name is Stephanie Gooch and I will be your host. And today we have some awesome guests from SoftServe. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Steph. My name is Ruslan Kusov. I'm a Cloud COE Director at SoftServe, AWS Ambassador based out of Boston, Massachusetts.
And hello, everyone. My name is Jarek. I'm based in Poland. I'm the Solutions Architect Generalist for UK and Nordics regions here in SoftServe. I'm also AWS Ambassador for EMEA.
Great. Okay, so let's dive into it. So first of all, what is SoftServe's Cost Optimization Accelerator and how can people use it?
That's a great question, Steph. So about a year and a half ago, we noticed a quite interesting thing that people, they don't know that they can optimize their cloud expenditures quickly without any additional efforts, just switching to Graviton for their managed services like RDS, Elasticache, and some other managed services. Graviton, that's an amazing offering from AWS. That's processors, custom silicons developed, designed by AWS. And it's quite unique offering that allows you to start saving immediately and get better performance for the same price or better price for the same performance. Also, these processors, they are like energy efficient and you can contribute to sustainability. So we realized that people, they just don't know how they can achieve these quick wins, and they need some sort of tool that will help them to understand the concept of quick wins and understand this potential savings. That's why we realized that it makes sense to introduce some sort of tool that will help them to do that and push that tool, publish this tool on the marketplace in order to have it accessible and free of charge for the customers. And we did that. We analyzed it multiple workloads. We analyzed it. We compared different processors. We created a bunch of benchmarks, and Jarek can talk about those benchmarks and the comparison because he helped our team to do that. And as a result, we created this tool that is available on the marketplace. It's AMI image, so you can go straight forward to the marketplace, find this tool, following the link, and just install it for your environment. And within a couple of minutes, you will have the web interface to log in. And that's web interface that's accessible only for you, and you'll get information about your tool, about your account, and potential savings that you can get easily switching to Graviton processors for managed services. And that can be a great kickoff of your cloud or cost optimization journey. That's quick wins. That's a powerful accelerator of this journey. Jarek, would you like to add something about benchmarks and benefits of Graviton processors?
Yes, of course. Thank you very much. So, yeah, during this journey, when our team was working on preparing the offering, I was interested in actually whether the Graviton is as good as everyone says. And I personally run multiple benchmarks that are available on the SoftServe website, as well as some of the benchmarks are available on my LinkedIn page. So they're publicly accessible, and actually the results were pretty amazed. So I started actually when Graviton got released just with a version 1 of the processor. Now we've got, the third generation of these processors, which is like amazing within, a year and a half, more or less, to release like a, third generation. Obviously, the third generation is available in the limited region still, but it doesn't actually, work against the customers, because you can still use the Graviton in version 1 and Graviton in version 2. And I actually did the comparison of all of these processors and all the generations. So it stands out that, the Gravitons, despite, as Ruslan mentioned, they allow you to save immediately the cost. The price to performance is quite attractive, because from my benchmarks that I relied on tools like Assistbench, and also I used like a 7-zip software to measure the way how it handles, the processor handles the encryption, because these days everything is more or less like an encrypted. Wherever you go, any website has the SSL behind it, and obviously offloading this to the processor is quite important, that this processor will give you the right performance. And actually, from comparing to other vendors, my test shown that the Graviton is actually about 2 times faster in terms of the performance against Intel. Yeah, the second generation is more or less like, I don't know, 1/3 faster than the first generation. So you can see that that improvement is quite significant. And if we add again this cost saving in respect of that, the Graviton costing like 30% less than the other vendors' processors, that's absolutely amazing. And given the fact that majority of the technology that is modern these days, like for example Python, Java, and stuff like this, they can be moved to use the ARM infrastructure and ARM Graviton processors more or less immediately, which guarantees that quick wins that we were focusing in our offering to show the benefit, right? Because if we show the initial benefit or show the initial, I don't know, the cost optimization potential, we potentially can enable organizations to scale this optimization to even bigger picture.
Amazing. And I see why it's called the accelerator, talking about getting all the low-hanging fruit and seeing where the quick wins are. And you guys have done all the work. That's the best bit. You've benchmarked it, and people can use this tool to actually dive in and kind of go straight in with those recommendations. Amazing. And so speaking of people who maybe are going to use it, who's already used it? Have you got any good customer stories that you can share with us?
Yeah, we have a couple of great customer stories. Unfortunately, I cannot share names of those customers. Yeah, but still, that's like a couple of really interesting examples. One of my customers, they wanted to optimize their cloud infrastructure, cloud environments, and they spent for their multiple accounts like multiple $1 million per year. And among those accounts, there was an account, AWS account, with monthly expenditures about 100K just for a month. And they used this tool. They installed this tool, analyzed their environment, and we figured out some quick wins for 10K. And I spent 3 hours of my work, of my time, just to implement these quick wins, these recommendations for quick wins. And we achieved this 10K savings, so 10% of this 100K monthly run rate cost within 3 hours of my work. Really, wow. A great definition of quick wins or low-hanging fruit for cost optimization. And of course, that unlocked their further cost modernization project and application modernization. So they started using our application modernization platform and other things that allowed them to achieve even more benefits in the long term and permanently optimize their environments. But even those quick wins that helped to save 10% or 10K for the monthly run rate, that was significant to present that to stakeholders and explain that they should invest in this modernization and further optimization with the SoftServe. Another great example that's ongoing customer right now. They were quite skeptical about this tool, to be honest. Because they thought that they knew everything, really. They knew their environments, all the components of this environment. They used spot instances, reserved instances, savings plans, so all possible ways to optimize. And but again, there was an example of a customer who was not aware of this Graviton processors and potential opportunity to start using this Graviton processors to start savings immediately. And I recommended this tool. So that was like a long-term negotiation where I explained the benefit of this tool, no risks for usage of this tool, no costs associated with this tool itself, and so on. And as a result, I persuaded them to install this tool and use for their environments. And the first screenshots that I received from this customer, that was quite surprising screenshots, let's say, because environments or AWS account with 850 virtual machines, a bunch of other resources, and so on. So for virtual machines only, this tool identified savings for more than 100K per month. So wow. 100,000 per month savings by moving EC2 instances to Graviton processors. And that's just a single service. Also, this tool found recommendations for Elastic Cache, for OpenSearch, for EBS as well, for optimization from GP2 to GP3 and other things. And as a result, we started building a roadmap for long-term optimization for this customer, explaining that even though you use this reserved instances, savings plans, and other things right now, still it is an opportunity for you to optimize. And next time when you repurchase this reserved instances or savings plans, you need to reconsider the instance family, instance type, and you need to reconsider this graviton opportunity to achieve a better price performance and more optimized environment. And it is ongoing work right now, so I hope that in a couple of months that will be more information about that and details about this customer. But even after this first screenshot from the tool, the customer was extremely happy with these results and willing to proceed with this optimization with us. Jarek, do you have your stories about some customers?
Yeah, I've got one from actually this is the ongoing project as well that I'm participating in, which is the migration project through migration acceleration program that we are leading with the customer. And basically, they are transitioning from the Windows workloads, Windows infrastructure, and purely .NET framework, which is legacy, like they're running like on 4.6 or 4.7. And we take this this opportunity into kind of like a two-steps approach. So first of all, we are moving them off from the .NET framework to .NET Core to allow them to start using Linux infrastructure. And then this, as a second stage, we are planning to implement Graviton processes as a core component of the entire platform. And it's all containerized as well, right? So not only are we moving from the physical or actually virtual machines to the containers, we also at the same time will optimize the containers even more by applying Graviton processes in our infrastructure. Also, the platform that Ruslan mentioned about our application modernization platform uses Graviton by default because we see a lot of benefits. The majority of the applications that are available on the market, they are ARM infrastructure ready or architecture ready, which means that we can consume, ARM infrastructure and Graviton processors more or less like in bigger scale, and also cut the cost of the solution by 30% by default.
Wow, 30%. And you both touched on some, they're amazing stories. They're always ones to shout from the rooftops, especially like you said, the first one of being 3 hours to get 10% saving shows like the definition of low-hanging fruit. And I'm assuming that because you've made those changes today, that will continue with any new developments. And so therefore they'll be saving that money going forward. This isn't something where you do it and then you have to do it again later. Once you've changed it, it's done. It's simple migration. And you also name dropped a bunch of services that are covered with Graviton. So we're not just RDS and EC2, there's containers and SageMaker and all these other bits which we can utilize, which is amazing. One other thing you did touch on was the modernization roadmap. Do you want to quickly summarize what that is before we tell everyone where they can learn more?
Yeah, sure. So this cost optimization quick wins, low-hanging fruits, that's just the start of the journey. And the purpose of this tool is to show the opportunity to save, opportunity to optimize. And among all the services that tool supports, we have EC2. And EC2, Jarek mentioned that previously, different programming languages like Python, Java, and so on, they are like supported. But .NET Story and Windows workloads, unfortunately, that's not something that you can move to Graviton with no changes. No, unfortunately, for ARM architecture, there is no way to run Windows workloads. So you need to optimize, you need to modernize, you need to re-architect. And our tool, that's just, let's say, an opportunity to realize why you need to optimize, why even though you think that you already utilizing all the cloud power and capacity and the services, still there is a room for this optimization. There is a way to do that in the right way. There are other cloud services that can be used as well. And let's think about this modernization. So our tool identifies these quick wins opportunities that can be implemented within 3 hours or up to 2 weeks. But after this 2 weeks. That's like a deadline for this quick wins, quick wins idea or quick wins terminology, let's say, or understanding of quick wins. After this 2 weeks, it is something that you should spend more time into the modernization in order to achieve more benefits from the cloud and use that in a more efficient, cost-efficient way. So that's why we have our cost optimization assessment offering that is on the marketplace as well, together with our tool. And this cost optimization assessment offering consists of two parts. The first part, that's implementation of this quick wins identified from our cost optimization accelerator. The second part of this offering is a preparation of long-term modernization roadmap, because we are not talking about cost cutting. No, I would say it's more about optimization, cost optimization through modernization. So this approach allows you to achieve the benefits in the long term and use these benefits permanently. So optimize, rethink how you operate in the cloud, rethink how you build and deploy your applications to the cloud. And that's a key idea. And as a part of this cost optimization assessment offering, we are preparing this long-term modernization roadmap. That includes recommendations for adoption of our SoftServe application modernization platform, migration to containers or serverless, the microservices architecture, utilization of managed services, including Aurora, for the databases, OpenSearch, and other AWS managed services. So that's like a roadmap that we build for our customers in order to achieve more optimization in the long term and modernize their, not just their environments, but the way how they are doing their business and the way how they develop their products and deliver these products to their end customers. Jarek, do you have anything else to add?
Not really. I just wanted to highlight some of maybe of the gaps that we also have a look. So basically, our tool, as Ruslan mentioned, and it is the accelerator, right? We do not put any kind of like a UI, ML elements behind it. So it's always like there is a human verification behind every assessment. And we, in many cases, we even work with the customers where we identify the gaps that they don't have tags enabled and stuff like this. So they don't really know what they can optimize if they don't know what exists, right? So we've got the proven track of kind of like a repeatable way of delivering these optimizations to the customers, and as a result, they have like a more consistent report that contains a lot of things like Ruslan mentioned, from quick wins to like a long-term engagement, with also displaying like what is the cost of the potential modernization, so the customer can decide whether they want to optimize now and see the potential of spending, because obviously this is like a new project that needs to be established. So whether this actually pays off, and what is the kind of like a return of investment for these modernizations. So this is our goal basically as well, to help shape this journey and probably reinvest what they can save, to reinvest back by, I don't know, providing new services or enable the teams to develop more often, or even because we know that Graviton comparing price to performance is better, we be better prepared for bigger loads and stuff like this.
Excellent. Well, thanks guys for kind of going through all that stuff. It's great because a lot of customers, when they are starting with this, like you said, quick wins is a great way to start, but there's so much more out there that you could check out. Okay, that is it. If you have any questions, here's the email. Please reach out to them. Also look on Marketplace. But if you email, make sure to tell them that you saw it on this show so that they know where you guys are coming from. Yeah, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.